Right, here's the music.
Oh, fake out.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to Coffee U. We're so glad that you're here with us today. Hey, guys, how are y'all?
What's up, everyone?
Doing well.
I'm Nathan. Nice to see you. Hope y'all are all well. As always, we have our Baba Java what is your Vice President of Operations, the guy that runs everything, Brad Haynes.
Glad to be here. Thank you.
How you doing?
Doing well, praise God.
Yeah?
Yeah. It's hot, though. Sheesh.
Tell you what.
Hot. Listen, I'm gonna tell y'all something. This is a
Better
pet
than
peeve.
cold.
This is a pet peeve of mine. Okay.
What's up?
Where do you live, Brad?
Alabama.
Okay. I've been in Alabama for a long time.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Many summers.
Many summers.
I'm 52. There's many summers. I'm not 52 yet. I'm almost 52. And I've had many summers in Alabama and Florida and Tennessee, all in the South, right?
Mm-hmm.
In August in Alabama and in the South,
There you know, Joe.
what does it feel like?
Oven slash.
It's so hot.
Spa.
I mean, it's just hot.
It is.
Just like what you're describing.
Yeah.
But it's like that every year.
It is.
And every time I'm around talking to people, small talk, they're like, oh, it's so hot outside. Oh my gosh, I'm dying. You live in Alabama in August. What do you think it's going to be? Seriously.
Definitely
What do you think?
not
You think it's going to be like a nice winter breeze? I mean,
Yeah.
spring breeze and flowers on? I mean, no, it's going to be
No.
hot. It's Alabama in August.
But
Come on.
listen,
Get
I will
fed up.
take this over 40 degrees
Me too.
any day
Me
of the
too.
week.
Absolutely. But anyway, sorry. I'm not, you know,
I'm
cracking
fine.
on you, but
I understand.
I'm not
It
It is hot. It really is.
Again, I'll take it any day.
But we live in Alabama.
And it could be worse. You could live in, the Arabian Gulf where it's 130.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly.
Literally 130.
Yeah.
That's
We
not
have people in Dubai, and so,
It's real hot.
if you don't have air conditioning, you die.
Basically.
So I don't know how like Bedouins and stuff did it back in the day.
Man.
How did they do it? Because they lived
Why
there.
they wear thobes and live in tents where breezes can go
But I
through.
mean, still,
Yeah, I know.
a hot breeze, an oven breeze. It's like a convection oven.
I know. Yeah, that's true.
Even if there's a breeze, it's still 120, 130
That is
degrees.
true.
Anyway,
If
sorry.
you want some nice, refreshing iced coffee,
Yes.
Go pick yours
Yes.
up at any of our 3 locations in the Birmingham area.
That's all right. Please do.
Come on.
Buy 10.
20.
Yeah, buy as many as you want. So today
We have.
we have a very special tea guest, a familiar face.
So we were talking, actually. He's so familiar, Nathan. I don't know that he's specialty anymore. He's more premium guest.
Oh, okay. He's not.
He's not
specialty.
commodity yet, but he's premium.
Not quite commodity. Okay. Well, we don't want
Yeah.
you to be commodity. We
I'm
don't
just
ever
kidding.
want you.
Always,
to be
always a specialty guest, Mr. Nicholas Hanna.
Welcome, Nick.
Thank you.
How you
Glad to
doing,
be here.
buddy? You all right?
I'm doing good.
Yeah?
Doing good. I'm also fed up with the heat. So
You live in Alabama.
I got expected every year, but we're on month 7 of summer.
So
I'm tired.
You lived. Was it Montana? You lived in?
Montana, yeah. If you
Yeah,
listen to our
it's
last episode,
about
Mr.
half a
Nicholas
year.
was talking about his Montana trip. Yeah.
Yeah, it was really awesome.
What was the summer like in Montana?
We got there in June, and it was kind of similar in the sense like wearing layers, except we were putting on layers.
That's unbelievable.
Again at night.
That's unbelievable.
So the nights it would get dark at like 12 midnight, and
That's weird.
It would get really cold, like down into like maybe the 40s or
In
50,
June?
In June,
Get
we
out
were
of
we
here.
were like we had a little wood burning stove in the place that we were staying.
Mm-hmm.
We would be lighting it at night.
That's
It
unbelievable.
was crazy.
That is crazy. Wow.
Well, we talked a lot about Nick personally, and today we're going to talk about Nick professionally more.
Yeah, we are.
Going to dig into that a little bit. So Nick is our head roaster. He's in charge of ordering all of our green and in charge of our whole rosting. He's in charge of rosting.
The roster.
He's a roster. in charge of roasting and our whole processing, processing all of our coffee. sending it out. He's a supervisor over all that. So Nick, first of all, the first step of coffee roasting is green coffee, right?
That's right.
So we can't roast green without having green. So
Right.
describe to us and our listeners the process of ordering green coffee.
Yeah, so for those of you that don't know, coffee is a agricultural product, and it does not come roasted. It does not.
Maybe in the Arabian, that's all we need to do is get the sun to roast
Right.
it. How do we get that
Slow.
like solar roasting?
There you go.
And
We'll work on that, Nathan.
the coffee, it's green. So when it's in the cherry, it is really dense, and maybe you can chew through some of them. But when we were in Colombia, we could not bite through that.
No.
Those are very hard. And so when I'm ordering coffee, I'm always looking for as direct to farm relationships as I can. With ordering coffee, it's really important to us to be able to give a proper fair wage and then some to each farmer and honor the hard work that they've done to produce that specialty crop. So when I'm ordering coffee, I'm taking a lot of things into account that we'll get into later in the episode. But it starts with finding either partnerships that we've had for a long time. Some of those being just kind of the next segment, but Cafe Creole and Forest are probably our main two partnerships that we've been purchasing coffee from for many years. And a couple other ones have come in and out during that time, but it's really important that we've had those long-standing relationships and to just have a more secure supply chain. If coffee flies through the roof again, the seed market goes up another $2. It'd be crazy, but having those helps us to continue to buy green and continue to have long-standing relationships with those people that are on the ground. And we're not at that point yet to where we can consistently be at origin and impacting those people. But what we can do is partner with the people that are doing that. And Cafe Creole and Forest have been some really awesome partnerships over the years, and they are doing some really great work that we'll save for another episode.
Yeah.
Maybe.
We've also, Homage Coffee and Benchmark have also been some good partners of ours. Our Papua New Guinea which one is from Benchmark, I think. I know it's Vikram, but I honestly can't remember which one.
I think it's Benchmark.
But those have been good partners of ours in the past as well. So what are maybe some of the bigger green producers that we've used?
Larger green producers we've used, Kefa is one, Shadi and Elias from Forest are very well-known producers. And I'm kind of blanking on the rest of them.
Red Fox
we've used before.
Cafe Imports, which is one of the biggest ones in the
Cafe Imports
States.
is huge. Yeah, Genuine Origin's huge. We've used those intermittently.
Yep.
So describe to us the steps in ordering the green coffee.
A lot of it's off of needs based. So at Baba Java, we try to keep the selection that we have very diverse, and so something for everybody with some general rules of coffee characteristics that we'll get into later. But I will assess what I'm looking for. If for instance, if I'm looking for something fruitier, for something that's a little bit higher acidity, for our customers and guests that like those coffees, I'm going to look at Forest or Kefa or one of our other partners and look for on their website, or I'll reach out to them personally over the email and ask for their offering sheet, and they'll send me a list of things that they have in stock, how many bags they have of that coffee, and where it's stored in. So being on the East Coast, it's better for us shipping wise to pay for out of shippers from DePoy in Texas or somewhere on the East Coast, like Baltimore, Maryland, or New York is another port. I think there's another port opening up in New Orleans, I want to say. Atlas Coffee Importers.
Atlas
them.
stores their coffee there, yeah.
And then there's other ones on the West Coast, but I won't prioritize those based off of just the
It costs a lot more.
cost.
The trucking charge to get
And
here.
ultimately that goes into the final cost of the coffee that our clients would pay, and so we obviously want to honor that as much as we can and not have a whole upcharge for our 12-ounce bags because it came from California.
Well, quickly talk through, okay, so you found your green. What happens once, so we're getting samples in, so what happens there from that step forward?
Yeah, so universally, any specialty shop will, and then larger corporations will that dabble into commodity and premium will do this as well. But when I get a green sample in, I will begin sample roasting it on the roaster that I have is taller than me, much wider than me, and much heavier than I am.
Well, that's not saying a lot.
But that's not
true.
saying a lot. But
That's true.
That roaster, it's huge, and it'll roast about 17 to 20 pounds, give or take, how much I put in there. Well, the sample roaster is only going to do about 150 to 100 grams, and it's about the length of my arm. And so I will roast those for what's called a cupping. This is the universally used process of assessing the value of a coffee for a company. And so every coffee that we purchase is not blind bought. I'm actually getting a sample of that in and tasting it and assessing if it's good for the profile that I'm looking for. And so I guess to sum it up, I'll reach out to a green distributor looking for a coffee. I'll get samples of that coffee, and they usually come in 200 to 600 gram samples. And then I will take them to the sample roaster, and after between like 8 and 20, I really don't try anything. I try not to try anything younger than 24 hours. Sometimes that happens, but I'll at least wait that amount of time before cupping it. And then if it's good, or if I need to adjust that roast profile on there, that's the time to do that. But then after that, we move forward with the rest of the ordering process. How many bags we want to buy, what's the cost going to be like for, all of the nitty gritty logistics that happen after that. So I think the longest that I've waited to cup something was, or the process that it took was probably when we were going through our espresso last September, and we had an influx of coffee come in, and we were sample roasting and trying things. And espresso is cupping for espresso is a lot harder. I'm not brewing it as an espresso. I'm tasting it as black coffee and trying to match like how is this going to taste. And so like that whole process from taking it from the cup, translating it into espresso, different, and that's going to be a blend, so that's 2 separate coffees that I have to do. Anyway, long story short, Abby and I worked on that for about 6 to 8 weeks trying to get that dialed in. And so it was a very long and lengthy process from waiting for the coffee to come in, scheduling both of us a time to meet, and then just the trial and error of, well, we don't like 2/3, 1/3. We don't like half and half, 60-40, just crossing all of those variables off and ultimately finding the product that was the most excellent for all of those parts. So anyway, just long-winded answer, but
well, what it shows everyone is a lot of care is taken into what we produce here, and a lot of time. So it's not just throwing some coffee in a roaster and hope for the best. Right.
A quicker turnaround could be a week, maybe 2 weeks. But that's not even deciding that. That's not even going through with the purchase of the amount of coffee that we ultimately want to buy. That's just assessing if it's something that we want to buy.
So Nick, anytime there's a big purchase or a big change, they always come and talk to me about it. And it always hurts me, especially the big purchase part. The change doesn't hurt. I love the change, but if I'm purchasing something, I always have to give me a couple days to get over it. But so we just recently switched to a new sample roaster. So will you describe the process of what the sample roaster we used previously, and then the new sample roaster, and why do we switch, and what's the advantage of the new sample roaster we use?
Yeah, that's great. That's a great question. We were really affected, Bradley and I, on our trip to Colombia when we were hanging with, our partner Forrest, and we got to spend a lot of time with them, and they did a lot of sample roasting at Origin, and they were using this. They're using the sample roaster called the Link by Nucleus Coffee Tools, and I mean, we were just like super impressed with the process of and on the automation that the Link has versus the last sample roaster that we had was a little bit more hands-on. You kind of had to. It still had what we referred to as like a roasting profile, is basically like all of the details, the gas changes, the changes in the air, the amount of air that's coming in and out and being recycled through the roaster. And then it's something that it's like kind of looks like a graph on the computer, and I can watch curves and different things that are affecting the roast. And so the last roaster that we had profiles, and it had data that I could log and look at. It was a max of 50 grams. And so that meant a little bit more work on my end to continue to try to produce the same consistent samples again and again, because 50 grams, that'll get used up in one cupping. And if I'm using like a standard 5 cups of the same coffee, well, 50 grams isn't going to be enough to do that. And so then I'm risking differences in, the second roast going through there is going to be a little bit hotter in the roaster versus the first one. So that could change the end result. So this new one is larger. It can do a max of 100 grams. I've even seen some people put...
You can actually do 200, I think.
Fit 200 grams in there. I don't know. I haven't tried that myself. No. But the Link is great because it has for its price, it just has so many competitive features with automation, and they've done a lot of work. They've done a lot of really great updates into the app to make it so I can log. Basically, it lends itself better to, like, if you have more information, I mean, it will really fine tune a profile for you, and a lot of them are generated by the creators, and they've been used to win awards and coffee roasting competitions and different things of the such. And so, sorry, I'm trying to find my rabbit again.
Well, it's okay. Well, one of the things that forced this is the previous one broke.
It did break, yes.
And it could not be repaired. And so it was either buy a new one of those, which was almost $4,000, versus the Link, which was under 2,000. So,
it was so crazy. Like, it was like the day before that roaster, the previous sample roaster was fine. And I was sample roasting on. I was like, oh, I'll save the rest that I need to do for tomorrow.
And I came in the next morning to see and it would not turn on. The power supply just stopped working. So we had already kind of thought about switching to the Link, and then this just kind of confirmed it.
Forced our hand.
So,
but the Link's been great for everything that it has. It's really there's still a lot of back end that I have to like go in and edit and be like, well, that's not like the profiles. I can be a little bit more picky and choosy with the experience that I have roasting on the bigger sample roaster. But ultimately, that's like the biggest challenge is going to be translating how the sample roaster takes something and then making that replicable on the production roaster. And so, but yeah, that's a bit about that.
Thanks, Nicholas.
We will continue our discussion with Nick on the next episode. We really appreciate y'all being with us. Thanks, Nick, and we'll talk to you more later. Thanks. We'll see you next time on Coffee U.
Have a good day. Good. All right.